Hello everyone, my name is Makeda Voletta, also known as Queen Lioness and the Body Scientist. I'm here today to talk to you about why does size matter? Okay, that's like a big debate that has been going on for I don't know how long about whether or not size matters. Now, there's many different things to consider and many different angles to look at when talking about size. Now, for one, most people are unaware of the fact that there are reflexology points in the vaginal canal and there are reflexology points in the penis. Chinese medicine has clearly documented this, and you can take a look at a book called Sexual Reflexology by Mantak Chia, where he clearly shows the reflexology points of the penis and the vagina and the testicles, okay? So what this means is sexual compatibility is a very real thing. A man's penis can be too long for a woman's vaginal canal, and if it's too long for a woman's vaginal canal, then it can hit up against her cervix and cause damage. It can cause infections and cause problems. It's not good for a man's penis to penetrate a woman's cervix. It's often painful, but some women, they may care about the person they're with, so they try to accommodate and they deal with the pain, but that's not good. That can lead to serious damage and issues and infections. And I've known women who've told me that, they were in a relationship with someone, they loved their boyfriend, but when they had sex with him, it was painful, because of that, so that's not good. But on the flip side, if a man cannot fully insert his penis inside of a woman's vagina, it can cause energetic imbalances in him, because there are reflexology points on the penis. So if this is the penis, there's reflexology points in the head all the way down to the base, and then also in the testicles of the penis, okay? So what that means, in case you don't know what reflexology points are also found in our hands, in the bottom of our feet, on our ears, and they're points that correspond with various meridians, okay? Meridians are different than chakras, are different than the aura. Those are different energy fields. We have different types of energy fields in our body. Our aura is the energy field that encases us, that protects us from what comes in and out of our inner circle. Okay, protects us from the everyday energies we come in contact with and what's coming in and out, okay? So that's what our aura is. And when we get sick, our aura tends to fall down on us and cave in. Then we have chakras, which are energy vortexes on the points of our spine. They go up and down our spine. They're vortexes of energy. Then you have the meridians, which are veins of energy. They're like highways of energy, okay? So that's what acupuncturists are using, is meridians. They're inserting small little needles in the micro points in the meridians, okay? So acupuncture is all coming from the meridians. Each meridian corresponds to a different emotion and a different organ, internal organ. Okay, so the kidneys is linked to fear. So if someone's experiencing too much fear, it can make their kidney meridians run backwards, okay? Or if their kidney meridians are running backwards, it can make them feel fear and they have no idea why, okay? So it's important for our reflexology points to be stimulated equally, so we don't have overstimulation of some and understimulation of others. That can cause serious problems, okay? So on the flip side, if a man's penis is too short for a woman's vaginal canal, and now it doesn't stimulate all of her meridian points, and up by the cervix is the heart and the lungs. Those are the two reflexology points that are located up by the cervix, the heart and the lungs. Now, that's why usually deep penetration will cause a woman to be more vocal, okay? Or she'll feel it in her heart a lot of times when doing deep penetration, because it's stimulating the heart and lung meridians. And funny enough, the G-spot is connected to the pineal gland meridian, okay? So you have the G-spot and you have that third eye, the pineal gland, which is the third eye, which is linked to more wisdom, okay? And inner knowing and seeing. So we do have reflexology points. That's important to know. So genitalia can be incompatible. A woman's vaginal canal can be too long. A man's penis can be too long. So that's important, number one. Then number two, what really seems to please women the most, yes, a man's penis can be too short, but it's really the thickness that matters the most, okay? There's different kinds of muscle contractions. And no, every man doesn't have to be super huge to please a woman or to make her have an orgasm. But there are different kinds of muscle contractions, and from those different kinds of muscle contractions and stimulants, we get a different kind of sensation. So the vaginal canal is one huge muscle that can squeeze and get tighter, can loosen, it can do different things. So if a man has a smaller penis, a woman can squeeze her vaginal canal tighter to accommodate him so that he feels more, she feels it more. But that's a different sensation than a woman's muscles being stretched. Now she's with a man who is stretching her muscles, so it's forcing her to relax and surrender, as opposed to being with a man who's smaller, where she has to tense and tighten in order to accommodate so they can both feel more, okay? So there's two different, and she can have an orgasm from squeezing like that and tightening around him. And a lot of times men who are smaller can do a lot more crazy kind of movements because it's smaller, right? And that can cause a woman to have an orgasm for sure. But then on the flip side, a man who's more well endowed, a lot of times will have to move slower. And he'll have to realize he's like that and move slower and gently get her to relax and really open up with surrender, which is the ultimate thing of being a woman. Women were penetrated, so that is to let something come through you. When we get pregnant and give birth, spirit is coming through us. When we're penetrated sexually, same thing. So we have to relax. We have to relax in labor and childbirth. We have to relax when we're being penetrated. And it's easier for a woman to relax. She's forced to relax when she's with a man who is more well endowed, who's thicker. So it's forcing her to relax and open up, okay? Now, a woman's vaginal canal can be too loose, okay? So it is important, women, to also work your vaginal muscles and to make sure they're strong. And oftentimes, especially after childbirth, the vaginal muscles can become looser, okay? That doesn't mean that every woman who gave birth vaginally has loose muscles, but it does mean that it's important to strengthen them, you know, just like you strengthen your abs to make sure that they're tight. But the vaginal canal, that muscle is very flexible, okay? Very strong and very flexible. So elastic. Elastic is the right word. So the correct definition of elasticity is that something can be super tight, let's say super tight like this, right? And it can be stretched all the way out to here and then go all the way back down to super tight again, the same level of tightness. That's what elasticity means. Elasticity means something can be super tight, stretch all the way out, and go right back to the same level of tightness. If something is super tight and stretches out to here and then only goes back to here, then it's not elastic. That vagina or that object has lost elasticity. Elastic means it'll go all the way back, okay? So for women, working the vaginal muscles and strengthening them can help to keep that elasticity, where your muscles can be super tight and you can make them tighter if you need to accommodate a partner who's not so huge, but also it can stretch out and come back down. Now, women also like variety. That's the reason why we see all these sex toys. There's sex toys of different sizes, different shapes. They all provide a different stimulus, okay? Just like all vaginas aren't the same, all penises aren't the same, and they provide different stimulus. And it's very interesting because one area of research I've been coming across a lot lately, which are in some of the books you can look at with this, is a book called Sex at Dawn, another book called The Myth of Monogamy. And I'll put the names and titles of those books below on my YouTube page. Those are two books, but I've also seen some other studies being simulated at some universities dealing with the actual function of a penis. Like, what is the function of it? Because in species of animals that are so-called monogamous, or where the women only mate, the females only mate during their fertile times, which human females are not like that. We mate all during our cycle. We don't just mate when we're fertile, okay? So animals who just mate when they're fertile and are more monogamous, there's no thrusting during sex. The men don't thrust, there's no thrusting at all, okay? And it's been shown that one of the purposes of thrusting is actually for a penis to remove semen, actually, okay? So like a ridged head, or the thrusting action creates a suction that can suck and remove out other semen out of the vagina, out of the vaginal canal. And there are studies that have shown this, where they use artificial penis and stuff, and they did this in laboratories and they saw this. Also, another thing that has come out is that when a man ejaculates, it's usually like 4 or 5 spurts, right? It's not just one spurt usually. And what's shown is that first spurt contains chemicals that help protect semen. And the last spurt that comes out is like a spermicide that will kill any sperm or any semen that come after that. Okay, so it's almost like a protective mechanism to protect his sperm to ensure fertility or to ensure fertilization. Okay, so this is I'm not getting into this in this video, but this goes into sperm competition and the function of the penis, and looking at different species across species and the size of the testicles, the size of the penis, and what that means for the sex drive and sexual actions of various